All right, so I went back and I zoomed and enhanced a bit. And yeah, putting the Masonic square and compass there, it's vaguely that kind of a idea, but that's not quite it. But I was trying to think, what was the top part of that reminding me of? And I think it must be this quite famous pose, I suppose it is, of Aleister Crowley. And in particular, his hat, I think, is very similar to the top part of her pendant on her necklace. And I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say that the top part of her brooch could be what he has in the top of his hat there. The all seeing eye, or the capstone of the pyramid with the bright light of God or the sun or whatever shining out of it. Then I was trying to think, okay, so the bottom part, I mean, maybe you could say there is a set square there, but it is a bit vague. I mean, it's more like a half crescent upside down. And then what's the circle part? But there's a flower in the center. So then I had a look at the Ordo Templi Orientis symbol again. And of course, I mean, these people are all about building the third temple again. This is the temple in the East, and Aleister Crowley was of the Order of the Temple of the East, or the Order of the Oriental Templars. And the funny thing is, it only occurred to me, I'll say it in case it never occurred to you, only occurred to me recently enough, that the Knights Templar are the Knights of a Temple. And that temple is the Temple of Solomon, the one which they want to recreate. I think that hadn't occurred to me before. Now, what we have here at the top of the Ordo Templi Orientis symbol is the all-seeing eye, the eye of Ra or Horus or Osiris or whatever. And then you've the dove or the Holy Spirit coming down. But I think maybe the chalice down here could be the part of her brooch there that is the sort of upside down crescent shape, or the sun cut in two by the horizon, something like that maybe. And you have the Sacred Heart, maybe, you know, you have the flame, or the passion of Christ, or the purification of the fire, and then you've got the heart in the chalice. So I suppose you can say that's Jesus and his love for the world. But maybe, of course, like all symbols have many different meanings. Looks like the Iron Cross in the middle there. But around that, the purple, I think it's supposed to represent a flower. And there are different kinds of flowers. There's the fleur-de-lis, and there's some Italian orchid as well from some northern Italian city that I forget now what that is. But anyhow, I think that the flowers could represent Isis, or the lilies on the River Nile giving birth again. And this is what these people are into. Death and life, and Lachaim and Bethlehem and places of birth and this kind of thing. So I think that the green there might be stalks or reeds or rushes, could be like where baby Moses was found, or grass representing Mother Earth, and then the flowers representing Isis or rebirth of some kind anyway out of a flower. So I don't think it's too much of a stretch there, especially if she has a flower there in the centre of that circle. And then as I say, the semicircular thing below could be the chalice holding it all in. So, of course, everything could be just pure coincidence. But look, when I walked for so long through this life or this world, not noticing anything and just assuming everything was just by sheer happenstance, that really kept me in a position of being very easily manipulated if I didn't stop and pause to look around at what might be going on. The other thing then that I wanted to say was that the earrings, her pendant earrings, I mean, I don't know if this is a stretch or not, take it or leave it if you like, but the shape of it reminded me of the keys of St. Peter, or the symbol of the Vatican Church, or the symbol of the Pope, or the symbol of heaven and earth, or maybe the keys of heaven and hell, whatever way you want to look at it. And I'm sure there's other ways, the Holy See symbol and whatnot. But if it's the keys to heaven and earth, maybe again this represents what they're after. The sort of godly or divine rule on earth, and maybe the keys to heaven even, you know. So God and them ruling on earth. I mean, maybe. Take it or leave it, as I say. But with these people, I don't think they leave anything to chance.